Up next on TCM Movies, close-up interviews. Now go behind the scenes with Chris Columbus and Francis Ford Coppola in Hollywood's best film directors on TCM Movies. Up next on TCM Movies, Hollywood's best film directors. Now go behind the scenes with Chris Columbus and Francis Ford Coppola in Hollywood's best film directors on TCM Movies. Now go behind the scenes with Chris Columbus and Francis Ford Coppola in Hollywood's best film directors on TCM Movies. Now go behind the scenes with Chris Columbus and Francis Ford Coppola in Hollywood's best film directors on TCM Movies. Now on TCM Movies, Offset Interviews. Next, Wayne Morris stars in our western, Sierra Passage, on TCM Movies. Now, Wayne Morris and Lola Albright star in our western, Sierra Passage, on TCM Movies.
The following film contains language and attitudes of the period that some viewers may find offensive.
Now, George Montgomery and Diane Brewster star in our western, King of the Wild Stallions, on TCM Movies. Up next, Glenn Ford stars in the western, Day of the Evil Gun, on TCM Movies. Now, Glenn Ford and Arthur Kennedy star in our western, Day of the Evil Gun, on TCM Movies. Henry Fonda and Robert Shaw star in the war film, Battle of the Bulge. Next, Anthony Quinn stars in our western drama, Guns for San Sebastian, on TCM Movies. Now, Anthony Quinn and Charles Bronson star in our western drama, Guns for San Sebastian, on TCM Movies. Up next on TCM Movies, Henry Fonda stars in the war film, Battle of the Bulge. Now, Henry Fonda and Robert Shaw star in our historical war film, Battle of the Bulge, on TCM Movies. Ellen Burstyn and Max von Sydow star in our horror, The Exorcist, tonight at 9, on TCM Movies. Next, Marlene Dietrich stars in our comedy western, Destry Rides Again, on TCM Movies. Now, Marlene Dietrich and James Stewart star in our comedy western, Destry Rides Again, on TCM Movies. Next, Rory Calhoun stars in our western, The Hired Gun, on TCM Movies. Now, Rory Calhoun and Anne Francis star in our western, The Hired Gun, on TCM Movies. Vanessa Redgrave stars in our historical drama, Mary, Queen of Scots, coming up next on TCM Movies. Now, Vanessa Redgrave and Glenda Jackson star in our historical drama, Mary, Queen of Scots, on TCM Movies. Next, Max von Sydow stars in our horror, The Exorcist, on TCM Movies. Now, Max von Sydow and Ellen Burstyn star in our horror, The Exorcist, on TCM Movies.
Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up. Perfectly timed moments on TCM Movies, sponsored by WatchShuffle.com.
The following film contains adult scenes, violence and strong language.
Go ahead. Make my day. Perfectly timed moments on TCM Movies, sponsored by WatchShuffle.com.
Wesley Snipes stars in our action thriller, Passenger 57, coming up next on TCM Movies. Now, Wesley Snipes stars in our action thriller, Passenger 57, on TCM Movies.
The following film contains violence and strong language from the start.
Next, Yul Brynner stars in our sci-fi Westworld on TCM Movies. Now, Yul Brynner and James Brolin star in our sci-fi Westworld on TCM Movies. Margaret Rutherford stars in our hilarious whodunit Murder Most Foul next on TCM Movies. Now, Margaret Rutherford stars in our comedy crime drama Murder Most Foul on TCM Movies. Up next on TCM Movies, Offset Interviews. Now on TCM Movies, Offset Interviews. Up next on TCM Movies, Close-Up Interviews. Now on TCM Movies, Close-Up Interviews. Now on TCM Movies, Close-Up Interviews.
Over the years, TCM Movies has shared countless unforgettable stories with you. We enjoyed the classics.
Open the pod bay doors, Val.
All of them.
Oops.
And we had a lot of fun along the way. But every story, no matter how great, has an ending.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
And on July the 6th, we'll be riding off into the sunset one last time.
I hate goodbyes.
Thank you for joining us on our journey and for loving classic movies just as much as we do.